Should do no crying on stream, right?
Well.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's what we've all been waiting for. House of the Dragon is here. And welcome to all of you. That being said, we have some new faces on the panel, at least for this show. But one that's not new is definitely Joker Voice, because him and I started this thing
over a year ago.
Over a year ago. A long road, dude.
Oh, it's about time. And as badly as Game of Thrones ended, most of us were not looking forward to a prequel to boot. And for pretty much everyone who was doubting going in, I'm happy to say we were all wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Very wrong. Lily's running late. She's doing school stuff, but shout out to Lily because she was the third member to start this. So obviously we'll introduce her once she gets here. But the fourth person to join us was somebody who JV has a massive affinity for. That would be Shadu.
Howdy, everyone. To quote Mark Twain, the reports of my demise have been greatly exaggerated, or however that quote goes. I just got kicked off Twitter. I'm fine.
Shut up.
Well, we got to start out the season out right. Speaking of starting the season out right, Tyler, it's kind of a tradition from Game of Thrones. What's the boob count on this one?
You get like one boob, I think. That's it. Yeah,
you get a few boobs in here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, near the end. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no. So it's definitely one that we're gonna have to tiptoe around. I know about the 24 mark. We see a lot of Matt Smith that, quite frankly, Anna, welcome to the panel. You probably appreciated.
Ritsas, which means hello, and hi, Valerian.
Ooh, that's sexy. That is sexy.
The fact that you speak.
And,
how many languages do you speak?
And also, Skoriot has Zadrise Ilzi, which is, where are my fucking dragons? Come on, give me some dragons. Thank you for having me here.
Nice.
Well, JV may be having a cigarette, but the person who's probably not is that the one he's on top of. That would be Clifton 3D.
I don't want JV on top of me.
Well, he kind of is already.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for inviting me, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Just don't look up.
Oh my God. It's good. It's good to have you. It's good to have all of you guys here, and looking forward to Lily getting here as well. Shout out to R2. They're live right now. He says, "Have a great stream tonight. Appreciate it, man." I said hi in their chat, of course, as well, because we overlap just a little bit. Jack says hello.
Hi,
Clifton
Jack.
says, "Hey, everyone." No, Clifton, you have to do the thing.
What? Hello there.
There it is. Thank you. It's nice to know that some things never change. Light the fires, Dracarys. Yes, absolutely. Caucasian Sasquatch says, "I have arrived."
Hello, this is Caucasian Sasquatch, the sexiest voice on YouTube.
Yeah, and of course, CLS says Game of Thrones season 8, greater than House of the Dragon. Are you making a joke? Of course, Squatch, referring to me, calls me specimen. It's probably been the better part of 8 months that he's done that. Jack says tits and dragons.
All right.
That's true. Blushing Sasquatch noises. Well, that's for you, JV. It ain't for me.
Mm-hmm.
So the opening to House of the Dragon is a lengthier one too, right? So the finale, the Game of Thrones.
It's a cold open.
It's a cold open. I think they were trying to test the waters to see how it would work. So
I think it's just setting the table for the events to come, because what we have is we have King Jaehaerys, who is upwards in years, and his big problem is he's outlived all his kids, so he has no heir to succeed him. So this was the Great Council, where the lords of Westeros would vote on who would be the heir to the Iron Throne. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is far different from the book, because on the show it has two choices. It has Rhaenys and Viserys. Now, from what I heard, the book, the strongest claim was actually Rhaenys' son, Prince Laenor, but because he was so young, I believe they went with Viserys just because he was more ready to assume the throne, since he was already a adult. Now, if I got anything wrong, anyone please correct me.
I don't. I'll grab my copy and check to make sure. But how I remember it is you had like hundreds and hundreds of people all try to like pitch their claims. Some of them were legitimate, like Viserys and Rhaenys, and then some were less tangible, like the bastard children of the one daughter who went to Essos to be a how PG do I need to be for this stream? Am I allowed to say prostitute?
Oh yeah, it's fine.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, she basically left being a princess to be a high-level prostitute, and some of her bastards came back and were like, we're totally valid for the claim. And so you had the different lords basically voted, and it came down to, off my memory, Rhaenys, because she was the eldest direct descendant of Jaehaerys, and then Viserys, because he was the eldest direct descendant who was a male. So I'm going to go get my copy and double-check that.
Also, shout out to Shadu, who, of course, is been our book guy for a long time. We have a book lady.
To a fault.
And she has read the book as well. So, we might defer to her every once in a while because, quite frankly,
most of the time, because her voice is because
I was going to make a joke, but JV's just like right in there. Sorry, all right.
No, but Shadu, I've missed you. I've not seen you for a while, but yeah, you're absolutely.
That makes one of us.
Like JV Shadu, you're absolutely right. Jaehaerys did call a council, and they went with Viserys.
All right. Awesome.
This is the whole thing in motion. And mind you, this also says right in the beginning, this is 172 years before the birth of Daenerys Targaryen.
Yes. And that is something that that is said in the cold opening. I don't know what you're joking about, dude. Oh, wow. Really? Oh, you weren't joking. Oh. Hey, to each their own. Look, I'm not gonna blast you for that one. Some other people might, but I won't. Hey, could have been better. So yeah, this is the cold opening right here.
As the first century of the Targaryen dynasty came to a close, the health
Narrated
of
by
the old king,
Emma Darcy.
Jaehaerys, was failing. In those days, House Targaryen stood at the height of its strength.
And I didn't know that when I first watched this, and I didn't piece it
Yeah.
together until later on after doing this again. So
With 10 adult dragons under its yoke. No power in the world could stand against it. King Jaehaerys reigned over nearly 60 years of peace and prosperity. But tragedy had claimed both his sons, leaving his succession in doubt. So, in the year 101, the old king called a great council to choose an heir. Over 1,000 lords made the journey to Harrenhal. 14 succession claims were heard, but only 2 were truly considered. Princess Rhaenys Targaryen, the king's eldest descendant, and her younger cousin, Prince Viserys Targaryen, the king's eldest male descendant.
It is declared by all the lords paramount and lords vassal of the Seven Kingdoms.
Now I had heard that the guy who was playing King Jaehaerys only agreed to do this scene if he did not have to speak.
damn you, dude. Fuck, I fell for that like hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, you did.
You know, I always forget April Fool's Day because I rarely
you're a
ever
fool?
play a joke. Slightly.
Okay.
There's only one joke I could have played today, and I didn't. So, yes, you do. Putting the spoilers in the chat, like
Targaryen be made Prince of Dragonstone.
Rhaenys, a woman, would not inherit the Iron Throne. The lords instead chose Viserys, my father.
Gotcha.
Viserys called the Great Council to prevent a war being fought over his succession, for he knew the cold truth.
So is she pregnant with Rhaenyra right there? Okay. Doesn't it say 6 years
Yes.
later?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or sometime later.
yeah, it's something like that.
That's 6 years later, which would mean she's like 5, which doesn't make any sense.
Well, yeah.
Let's,
Could tear
Or-
down
or-
the House
or-
of the Dragon.
Or Rhaenyra was or
itself.
because Emma did say that she had that after Rhaenyra she had like 2 other miscarriages.
Oh,
So
it could
that
be like a
Mhm.
miscarriage or something.
True.
Like that. That would make more sense.
all right, so it plays the little. I didn't miss it, did I?
And up to this point, I'm like, okay. And then we see clouds. We see and I know we'll get there. We see a dragon, and then the Targaryen theme plays, and I'm like, all right, I'm in. I'm good. I'm in. Let's go.
Yeah.
I remember that. Like I waited for Shad to review episode 3 before I even went in.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and basically at that point I was like, what's it gonna be? But yeah, Same
So-
same reaction as you did.
So it's
Yeah.
the 9th year of King Viserys, the first Targaryen's reign, 172 years before the death of the Mad King, Aerys, and the birth of his daughter, Princess Daenerys Targaryen. And again, some people were like, the way things ended, maybe just don't try to tie them together, even though, yes, they are tied together. I did hear that criticism. But I think the way they did it was good.
Yeah.
Here it comes.
Maybe.
Why'd you stop?
Oh. Stop. Sometimes working with StreamYards is like
StreamYard.
pulling teeth.
Hmm.
It gets grumpy over weird stuff. All right. Would you be grumpy again?
I'm not grumpy.
Not you. I'm not grumpy. Oh no, that's funny. No, it's all of a sudden being grumpy. Stop it.
Ah!
You're right. You need a moment. No, I do agree. Opening with dragons is a great way to do this.
38 seconds.
And then when we come into King's Landing, and then the Targaryen theme just hits, I'm in. Yeah, the music's great. At this point, I'm sold. I don't need much to get me interested in this. I am already invested.
Sorry, I was muted. I like too that you fly over King's Landing and nobody bats an eye at the dragon. To where when we ended with King's Landing, everybody's like running for their lives.
Well, yeah, and then also you've got this. Some folks said, "Well, King's Landing it's so much more clean now." I'm like, it's 200 years prior to Game of Thrones. I would hope so.
Yeah, you wouldn't hope that it was a shithole the whole time.
I have a question. How long was it since people saw dragons?
At least 100 years. At least.
Yes, and the ones they would have seen would have been more akin to geckos or Komodo dragons.
Cats.
Cats.
Okay.
Yeah, cats as well. Not any actual threat. And what I really liked about this scene is how it sets up all the important parts of King's Landing. You see the Red Keep, you see the Dragon Pit, you see Baelor's Sept. Nothing is pointed out to you as the viewer. It's just
there is no
showing
Sept.
you something amazing.
There is no great Sept of Baelor yet because Baelor has not been born yet.
Right. Just like the Great Sept. Sorry, to quote Ryan, I'm a bit retarded.
I've never said you're retarded. I've said I'm retarded.
Yes, well, I'm also retarded. And then and then also with how clean everything is, you just get the vibe that this is not a empire in decline. This is the golden age of Westeros. Which it was. Jaehaerys was the one who built all the roads and he built all the great works that Westeros had during the main series. So you have a very different vibe going into this than Game of Thrones,
prosperous.
which was
it looks good. Looks good. It definitely looks good. So Shadu, just if you're not talking, mute yourself because there's a little bit of an echo. I don't think you have your headphones in properly, or I'm not sure where you're at right now. Just FYI.
Okay, that fix it?
Yes. Yeah, I don't hear me anymore.
Okay.
Which, quite frankly,
so anyone else? So from a movie making standpoint, Tyler, your thoughts on this opening shot?
Oh, it's great. It introduces you to the whole area, and we got the dragons, and you see it's not destroyed anymore. So yeah, it's good. It's a good way to introduce everything.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's a good, solid opening. All right, so we got obviously this is Rhaenyra. Yeah, Rhaenyra and her dragon landing.
And then we get our first glimpse of Rhaenyra Targaryen, who was known at this time as the Realm's Delight. She is the princess. The king dotes on her, and she's pretty much the beloved by the entire realm.
Welcome back, princess. I trust your ride was pleasant.
Try not to look to the leaves, sir.
I am.
Also, on top of that, too, a lot of people were kind of skeptical about the two actresses and the shift. We're not there yet, but Millie Alcock did a very, very good job playing Rhaenyra Targaryen. That when it was time for the time jump, people were like going, "I don't know, bro. I'm a little worried right now." But we'll get there.
And that, folks, it's your new Supergirl. Also,
yes. Andy Pickle says, "Hi, diddly do."
hey, Andy,
buddy.
What's up, man?
Hey,
Good to
Andy.
see. It's good to see in the damn it, Clifton. Cultural influence. That's what the name of your show, right?
Culture. Insert culture.
Insert culture. Thank you. Sorry. Yeah, no, I was in the chat earlier, and Andy was in there, laying down some knowledge, which is cool. So
Yep.
Andy, always a big supporter. Now we have, of course,
Saves my head from a spike.
Syrax is growing quickly.
Allison
Somebody's
Hightower.
like Syraxes.
Okay, so
That's almost
and
right.
right in here you get a little glimpse of what their two characters are like. Rhaenyra is kind of brash. She's and as we'll see in a later scene, she's a bit of a brat. Alicent is very reserved, very what's the word I'm thinking of?
Calculating?
Very conservative. At this
Yeah,
point,
she's not
because-
calculated just yet.
Yes.
But yeah, I think conservative is a very good way to put it. And not in like political, but like very reserved, very, very drawn back, very, so I mean, so glad.
Although, I mean, later on in
Hey,
the
buddy.
episode,
Damn,
There
man.
you go,
It's
man.
good to see you, dude.
hey,
Thanks for watching, man. Seriously. Haven't seen you in the chat in a while. Hope you're doing well. Real quick, he says Team Black all the way. Andy says, yeah, it's so glad Anna was finally invited.
Mhm.
She was invited.
aw.
Speaking,
All right,
speaking of,
guys. Quick trivia question.
Okay.
Mhm.
What is Rhaenyra's dragon's name?
Cyrax.
Go. Thank you, JB. Love you.
Love you too.
good looking dragon. Well, also at the same time, too, this is one of the first times that we have seen a dragon that looks differently
Right.
than Game of
Right.
Thrones.
They were
Dragons
all the same.
don't call. Yeah.
They were all the same. All the
How
same.
is that?
It's my roommate's fixing the door across the hall.
Okay. It's like is Tyler in a sex dungeon? Not again. Not again.
Large enough to settle.
No comment.
I believe I'm quite content as a spectator. Thank you.
And again, both actresses during this did so well that people were worried about the crossover. Good looking animal.
She's a good girl. She's a good girl.
Isn't Allison played the same person the whole time?
New.
No.
Oh, did they change her?
Yes.
Really? Okay.
Yes, they did. But yes, I would say probably the both actresses looked so close that I could understand how you would actually think that.
Yeah.
For Allison.
We know Shadow. We know you're gonna get yours. All right, so we're coming into King's Landing, and it looks better than we've seen. Obviously, again, it looks a little more regal, looks cleaner. Yes, Jack, Team Black, absolutely. It looks more majestic, so to speak. So the girls are coming in, and it's a little exciting because it's kind of like revisiting something that we
Home.
Yes.
Now HBO Max has a great docuseries called The House That Dragon house that dragons built, and it's a docu-series of how they made these sets. That set there is one of 4 joining parts of different parts of the castle. Just this massive practical set that is just amazing. It's a great series to watch. I highly recommend it.
And I think on top of that too, of course, so a massive voice in our sphere, Gary, who is of course a big fan of
George.
yes, he actually said I think these sets, I think they took the old sets and they made them look better than they did previously, and I have to agree with him on that one. So because that's kind of like what launched his channel was Game of Thrones talk, right? I think he said years ago.
It was Star Wars. I
swore it was Game of Thrones. I could be wrong.
It was
I've been watching Gary and G&G for a long time, so I've probably forgot a lot of stuff. But anyway, so Rhaenyra is coming in to speak with her mother.
Let's go flying when you're in any condition.
Emma.
Yes.
Good morrow, Alicent.
Did you sleep?
I slept.
How long?
I don't need mothering, Rhaenyra.
Well, here you are, surrounded by attendants, all focused.
Yeah, my mom gets mad at me when I try to parent her a little bit too. She's like, I'm 62 years old. I've been around longer than you, and I'm like, just trying to help, dude.
Yeah.
It's like one day the roles are gonna flip. It's like,
It's on the babe. Someone has to attend to you.
You will lie in this bed soon enough, Rhaenyra.
no, sir. Yes, I do.
Is how we serve the realm.
And serve as a knight and ride to dazzling glory.
So Rhaenyra is like,
We have royal
what? Having kids? Oh no. That is not for me. I like riding a dragon. That's fun. Just looking at you, I'm like, this does not look like fun. No. I'm on no.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's always been very against.
She's a rebel.
Mhm.
She's punk rock.
She's also still a child.
Right.
Oh, she's about what, 14 here?
Well, I believe you
About
might be
something like
looking
that.
up the wrong end.
Okay, so now we see. So now right there, you get a glimpse of the king, where he's a nice guy. He's a people pleaser, and he would rather talk about tournaments, balls, banquets, and cracking jokes, as we see very quickly in this scene here.
Yes. Yeah, the problem with Viserys is that he tries to cater to everybody, and sometimes he just can't. And when things get tough later on, you see the toll it takes.
When you try to please everyone, you end up pleasing no one.
Exactly.
The alliance among the free cities has taken to styling itself the Triarchy. They have massed on Bloodstone and are presently ridding the Stepstones of its pirating.
Fourth child, excuse me. He was the son of the fourth child. He wasn't supposed to inherit, even be close to inherit.
Whoa! What?
Coming in
Shadow.
hot, bro.
Real hot.
Sorry. Am I too loud?
And maybe
Not
back
anymore.
away. Maybe back away from your mic a bit too, man.
I think it was a reverberation. Your microphone was picking up what you were saying and everybody else, and it was like just screaming.
Absolutely. I'll just turn it off. I've got no clue why it's doing that.
Fine now. Just
I'm about to say it sounded better now. It was weird.
Okay, because I haven't changed my posture or anything. I've haven't touched it. I've just been sitting here, so I don't know what it's doing.
Okay, now you sound normal.
Okay.
So
I apologize.
whatever you're doing now, don't change.
Okay.
Don't go changing.
Also, at the same time, I edited your mic settings in StreamYards to reduce mic background and adjust the mic automatically. Sometimes that helps when you're coming in hot.
Gotcha. Again, sorry about that. Sorry to the panel and to the chat.
No, dude, you're good, man. Shit happens.
Okay.
Ray
I'll be right back.
styled himself the Prince Admiral of this Triarchy. They call him the crab feeder, due to his inventive methods of punishing his enemies.
And are we meant to weep for dead pirates?
No, Your Grace.
Rhaenyra, you're late. King's cupbearer must not be late. Leaves people wanting for cups.
Just visiting Mother.
On Dragonbank?
Your Grace, at Prince Daemon's urging, the Crown has invested.
I love that.
Capital.
I love that.
Yeah.
He goes like he sniffs her and he's like, on Dragonback.
He's like, I know what you've been doing.
Yeah. You're such a tomboy.
It's a good dad, though. He knows
Yeah.
what she's been doing. Also, at the same time, he's not going to chastise her because she was just having fun. And quite frankly, politics is not going to be a 14-year-old girl's thing. You know, I don't have those parts, but I can understand the 14-year-old girl is going to go,
No, I disagree with that.
disagree with what?
As a 14-year-old, I was very interested in politics.
Were you really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I can understand that if you're being groomed to be the next ruler, you kind of have to, even if you have like a good dad or a grandfather or whatever.
Well, but it seems like at that moment, Veneris didn't have any plans to.
No,
make her-
no, I think he always knew she was going to be the next one. Sorry.
No. What?
Shadu, you're muted or something.
Sorry, I hit the mute button.
I'll say this real quick though, Anna. You've admitted the fact that you kind of had a little bit of a rebellious side. I think most young girls do.
Mm-hmm.
It's all I. It's like, go this way. I'm bored. Anyway.
In the retraining and re-equipping of his
To the point about Rhaenyra being like groomed, I've groomed for like leadership. I disagree because throughout the entire series, we don't. I mean, this is spoilers, but we never really see Viserys try to teach her anything about being a king. Now, we could possibly assume that she's being groomed in that way, but we're never shown it, and so. I think that's kind of like part of the failing of Viserys when it comes to preparing Rhaenyra to be queen is he wants to be her father, not her mentor entirely.
Yeah,
so
I'm
getting a son out of it, and then
No, you can. No, Shadu, I disagree with you. You can still have somebody who is a daughter, and you not necessarily in the bad sense of the way grooming, but prepare somebody through education, through doing things like riding your dragon, being one with your culture and where you come from. So you embrace it at the end of the day and really understanding your kind of like identity, where you come from. And also that whole exposition of like seeing her mother, Emma, being pregnant. That's another way of kind of like, this is what you're going to have to go through. That is part of something that they're showing that this is your destiny. This is what you're destined to do. You don't have any other choice.
Right. There is that, but there's also teaching of statecraft, of politics, of diplomacy, of doing all these other factors that we never see her learn.
Real quick, we're kind of jumping like way far ahead. Because don't apologize.
No, it's actually a lot better if you just don't talk, Shadow.
No, it's not. Stop it. So the thing is that quite frankly, I heard you're laughing, dude. You're killing me. So we are jumping ahead, right? Because we know what happens to Rhaenyra's mother. That changes everything, and that's so.
Well, that scene was brutal.
Oh, I know, and brutal. It's in this episode. So I mean, they came in pretty hot.
Oh yeah,
they came in real hot. Do we want to wrap the politics up? Because quite frankly, it's just It is a little stale. This one's more politics heavy. It matters. I'm not saying it doesn't matter. It's just that obviously Otto Hightower.
I fucking hate
Again,
that guy.
Again,
Right from here, I hated this guy. Hated this guy right from the word
I
jump.
agree. Piece of
and
shit. I hate the man.
And but I also I'm going to find out because I'm like, where have I seen this guy? Where have I seen this guy? If you've seen the movie The Replacements with Keanu Reeves, it's that guy.
He's so the fact that he went from that to this.
Oh my god, yeah, those are completely different.
Oh, I know. Yeah, he played a.
I didn't even realize that. Good call.
He's like, I'm wiry.
Yeah,
you're weary. No, I'm wiry.
That's an underrated.
Well, the irony is that my dad actually, he was actually watching it last night, and I was like, "Oh, that's a great movie." Andy says, "Dragon Lives Matter." That's true. Dempsey says, "Life is good. Kids are all home." That's awesome, man. Good to hear, dude.
Good.
Always appreciate Dempsey being here. Of course, I don't think that hashtag is going to catch on, except for with like one person, but still.
Replace the W with an O, and it'll catch on because Shadu rolls off the tongue better than Shadow.
I stutter. Nothing rolls off my tongue. You twit.
I'm speaking as an aggregate.
All right, so this is a little bit of
It's all right, sir.
Oh, this scene. We are introduced to the blood of the dragon, Daemon Targaryen.
Good looking throne.
This could well be my chair one day.
And the way they introduce Daemon, it's like dimly lit, the lights coming from around the throne. It is just a beautiful shot.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Also, at the same time, it lends credence to a shot later on. It's foreshadowing of the opposite. Again, we're not there. We're quite a ways away from there, but it's probably the most talked about episode of season 1. Okay, so they're speaking High Valyrian, Rhaenyra to Daemon. It is her uncle, but there's a little bit of a Targaryen twist. It's all relative.
Right. And
you said Court is so dreadfully boring.
And you see this, and you see this even here, that there's this, even though they'll take little shots at each other, but there's kind of an attraction, at least from Rhaenyra to Daemon, right off the bat.
Well, yeah, because he's he's cool. A rogue. He gets to do whatever he wants, like, and he doesn't give a shit about the consequences.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah. I heard your father was horsing a tournament in my honor. The tournament is for his heir.
Do you know what it is?
It's Valyrian steel. Like Dark Sister.
Dark
Shouldn't that be like super heavy?
Valyrian steel is actually quite light, from what I've heard.
And then most swords are also not even crazy heavy either. Like, I think I'm forgetting pounds, but like 2 kilos.
It's kind of the equivalent to let's say what the Mandalorian called Beskar, which you would say lightsaber. I'm not sorry, vibroblades were made out of. They changed the name.
Well, I mean, 2 kilos. That's a lot of cocaine. Not that I would know anything about that.
Of course not.
Be like
got some weight to
pounds, right?
Oh, you know
like
what?
10,
We haven't played this.
I'm in
And now
Just for fun.
and Rhaenyra mentions Dark Sister. That is the sword that Daemon has in his possession. It was also the sword of Princess Visenya, who was one of Aegon the Conqueror's sister wives.
Mhm.
She was more of the warrior of the two.
It's a badass sword too, by the way.
Very good sword.
Girlfriend, you little too willing. I'm gonna tell you what.
Now, you and I both own a small piece of our ancestry. Gregory.
Did you read it? Of course I read it. When
So in this scene here, you get a lot more of the personality traits of Alicent and Rhaenyra. As I said, Rhaenyra is a brat.
Yes,
is an absolute brat.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, I mean, being a princess will do that to you.
You're always like this when you're worried. Like what?
Were you a princess, Shadow?
You're worried your father is about to overshadow.
Tyler, you're a lot funnier when you're on camera.
I'm damn funny wherever I'm at. I don't know what you're talking.
He's like,
being
dude, I'm
shy.
not.
Yeah,
he is being shy. He's like, I'm not putting pants on for this crap.
Yeah.
So let's kind of speed it up a little bit. Let's kind of like break down this scene real fast. The only reason is because, quite frankly, it's a very long episode, and we're already 40 minutes into the stream.
Well, so just to break this down, Alicent is trying to be like, we need to know this because of our lessons and and Rhaenyra is kind of like, I already know this, and she just rattles it off. So this also establishes that Rhaenyra is also quite bright, is quite smart.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it also establishes that she's like I said, she's a brat, and she's also quick. She's also quick to wit it. And again, the rebel part of her, as she rips out the page and hands it to her and said, "Here, so you will remember this." And Alicent is just like, "Oh my gosh, Rhaenyra."
Yeah.
Yeah, especially since back in that day, each and every book had to be transcribed by hand. So it's not like she went to the library and tore something up that was made in a machine. It's like breaking your mom's vase.
Yeah.
Is it healing?
It's grown slightly, Your Grace.
Leprosy.
Can you say yet what it is?
We've sent inquiries to the Citadel.
I can
They're
leprosy.
searching the text for similar cases.
It's a small cut from sitting the throne. It's nothing.
Now, supposedly, this, according to the lore of this world, if you sit on the throne and you get cuts on the throne, it's because the throne has rejected you, and so you are not the true person to be sitting on that throne. Again, someone who's read the books, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's definitely something.
Even
Well,
Cersei, even Cersei did get cut. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they decide to cauterize the wound to try to.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Oh, they don't. Yeah,
Cauterize
no.
it.
Yeah, no. So it would leech again, Maester. Yeah, no. Okay, sorry. No, I actually read that wrong. I watched it like Friday, so I'm kind of anyway, so come to Viserys and Emma. She's in the tub. She's relaxing because again, she's pregnant.
This is the only place I can find comfort these days.
I mean, I think it does really show nicely their relationship. Like they actually love each other.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Agreed.
And quite frankly, it's something that may have been somewhat lacking. A relationship that actually has care, right?
Yeah.
Previously from, say, the end of Game of Thrones, or even maybe mid-season on.
Don't they know dragons prefer heat?
After this miserable pregnancy, I wouldn't be surprised if I hatched an actual dragon.
And he will be loved and cherished.
Rhaenyra has already declared that she's to have a sister.
Really?
She even named her
Dare I ask?
Visenya. She chose a dragon's egg for the cradle that she said reminded her of Vagar.
God be good. This family only has its Visenya.
Has there been any word from your dear brother?
Not since I named him commander of the City Watch. I'm sure he will re-emerge for the tourney. He could never stay away from the lists.
The tourney. To celebrate the firstborn son that we presently do not have. You do understand that nothing will cause the babe to grow a cock if it does not already possess one.
This child is a boy, Emma.
Yeah.
I'm certain of it. I've never been more certain of anything.
Tell that to people nowadays.
Right.
Yeah.
The dream. It was clearer than a memory.
Okay, so this is something about Viserys and the Targaryens. You've got like dragon riders, but you've also got ones called dragon dreamers. The dreamers have almost have like a foresight, almost. Whereas the riders obviously are the ones who ride who are more connected to the dragons, because Viserys was the last person to ride Balerion, the Black Dread.
Yeah.
He rode him once, kind of flew over King's Landing once, and that's the last time he ever rode a. That's the first and last time he ever rode a dragon. So dragons are really not his thing.
No,
but
they're not.
So dragons are really not his thing.
No, they're not. Obviously, definitely wanted to show the fact that this is a very different relationship than we have seen for the most part in Game of Thrones. This is one of not two people coming together. It seems convenient, and all of a sudden something happens, like Daenerys and Jon. This is a relationship of actual love that was built during a time of, but unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it just doesn't end the best. The reason I'm kind of skipping forward a little bit is, okay, so obviously this is
So does someone want to set the table for this scene here? Not named Shadu.
I mean, yeah. So he was named to the city guard, the
Lord Commander,
right?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. And he's saying that there's so much vile stuff going on in the city, and they need to go in and take care of that. And he makes a public spectacle of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he does.
Get some shit done.
Yeah.
Not only that, he took a force of gold cloaks that, as he described in very poetic way, was very disorganized. The men within it weren't really trained for what they were doing, and because of that, they couldn't enforce the city's laws, and so you had everything get really, really bad. He came in, and because he's Daemon frickin' Targaryen, took a mess of garbage men and turned them into, as he phrased it, savage hounds that he unleashes upon his brother's city to reign in the order.
Yeah, kind of slaughters a whole bunch of people. Again, the reason
the message.
It is how you send a message.
And honestly, in that setting, I don't see anything wrong with it.
I'm
As long as they have
trying to
sufficient-
tread lightly here because there's a let's just say a
Chops off a
theme.
dick.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very deserved,
Be
by the
allowed to
way.
act with this kind of unchecked impunity.
Oh, I love this scene because Otto's walking in with the Viserys,
You
talking
have to
of
explain
just
your doings with the city.
running down Daemon, and there's Daemon like you were
Your new
saying.
gold clothes
Please,
made quite the impression last
So-
night, didn't they?
So I have a question for
City
someone
Watch.
who's
Okay.
read the books. I have them on my list to do, but these marbles or balls or whatever they are being set down, is
Mhm.
that like now I'm officially speaking, or what does
I
that
think
exactly
they're-
mean?
Off memory, they're an addition of the show, and I guess just to kind of like show that everyone is like accounted for and that like I have the right to speak. I imagine you could pass it off to someone else to speak for you. It's not something specifically stated in the books. Something just to add a little bit of like life to the scene, in my opinion.
Okay, because I thought it was like maybe like before they place their ball in the whatever.
Like, I got
Yeah.
balls, therefore I can speak. Yeah.
That it was like off the record and then on the record, basically.
Let's do that.
All
Okay.
right. Anna, anything to add, or is that kind of like maybe you understand it? What Shadoo's saying?
I agree with Shadu. I just don't with the whole like Damon doing what he did, it's not out of the blue. It's because he knows what's happening, what's gonna happen. There's gonna be a birth and also a celebration and also a tourney. So
mass people.
like there's going to be a lot of people. You need to control the crowds and put everybody
Okay.
into like that's where it's coming from. It's not like out of the blue he just decided I'm just going to do this shit.
Okay, so you're thinking that he was trying to clean up the streets because he knows what's coming forward. Okay, all right. I actually that makes more sense.
Well,
So kind
Damon
of like
even-
Winnie the Pooh went to
Damon,
California.
Damon even says that.
Yes.
In this scene.
Also, at the same time, Tyler, what do you think about balls? In this
Depends on
scene,
what kind are we talking about?
Tyler talks about boobs, not balls.
Yeah, that's Shadow's category.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, guys.
I'm the devil's advocate.
They're an extension of
Brian's the
the
one who
crown.
likes balls.
The Watch was enforcing the Crown's laws. Didn't you agree,
Don't judge me.
Lord Strong?
I'm not. I'm making a statement of fact.
Making a public spectacle of wanton brutality is hardly in line with our laws.
Nobles from every corner of the realm are right now descending upon King's Landing for my brother's tourney. Do you want them mugged, raped, murdered?
Hey, Rogue.
You mightn't know this unless you left the safety of the Red Keep, but much of King's Landing...
This is just like in California when Z came over. You got to clean that place up.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you gotta make sure that the foreign dignitaries feel safe and comfortable.
Exactly.
I just hope you don't have to maim half.
And also, I think it's really good foreshadowing for like how things go throughout the entire series. You have an incapable or inept leader who allows problems to build up and build up and build up until they need to be solved, and then you have someone like Daemon step in, and the only real option available is force, and a lot of people have to die to make everything be nice and clean and tidy again.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like CM
Also,
Punk
the nobles
when,
can be happy.
Nobody's cleaning up stuff backstage, and he has to do it. Back in AEW.
Yeah. I mean, I know this is later on in the episode, like towards the end, but Damon says something that is spot on, and I completely agree with him.
Is your grace.
This council has, at great expense, bettered the City Watch to your exacting standards. Enforce my laws, but understand, any further performances like last night's will be answered.
Understood, Your Grace.
Patty Constantine, man, I'll tell you what. Those two played off each other incredibly. Yes. Just to answer, yes, all of us are wanting that hot D. I don't think it was intended to be that way for the acronym, but all right. So we're gonna skip this because there's a little bit buts.
So we're not at the whorehouse yet.
No. We're in some type of whore setting because there's clapping cheeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah. This is and this is where we find out that Damon, at this point in his life, has performance issues, not with a sword, but with a different sword.
Yep.
Yeah, he's not. Well, never mind. We'll get there. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
He's Joffrey, but with a strong male role model in his life.
What?
Well,
What?
I don't.
Get him out. Get him out.
No way. Come on.
Oh, he left. I didn't kick him. Damn kid.
He comes back. He always comes back.
He's backstage. I didn't remove him.
Like a fungus.
Oh. I mean, if I'm a fungus, that makes me a fun guy.
No, you're not.
Jesus. All right, now get him out.
Oh no. I liked it. That was funny. Of course, I was also in the middle of coughing because
you're a fun guy too.
You know what? Fuck you, dude. I'm just kidding. I still lost my train of thought. All right, so we're at the tournament. Let's talk about that. Oh, it's muted. Damn it.
It's a big old presentation right going on here. Pageantry. Now we saw in the previous scene where Damon's going through the streets and he has his helmet going. Now for the tournament, he adds dragon wings onto his helmet to make it look a little more stylish because Damon's about style too.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, he is.
This also reminded me of A Knight's Tale. I need to see that movie again.
That's a fun film.
That's a
fun
great movie.
I won't go great. It's fun.
It's a great movie.
It's a great movie.
Heath Ledger's dead. It's a great movie. Also, we're starting to catch a little bit of wind of
just because somebody's dead doesn't make it a great movie.
Yeah.
It was a great movie before that. Got the mixture of the rock music and all. It's good.
Yeah. It was all right.
All right. I'll say this. I was a kid when it came out, and I loved it. So yeah.
I'm just saying. How did you meet Vision from the MCU? I met him there.
You can see his butt in that.
You see way too much, but yeah. No, I'm just goofing. All right, so we're kind of what?
I'm looking at The Knight's Tale. This film's older than me.
Have you not seen it?
Have you not seen it?
No.
What?
Okay, now get him out. Get him the fuck out.
Yeah.
God, what are you doing, kids? Fuck.
Add it to your list, all right?
Who is your father?
House of the Dragon.
All right, so Damon's again showing off.
And so Damon gets to pick his first opponent and just so happens to pick the son, one of the son of Otto Hightower.
Yeah. Also, at the same time, his showboating a little bit catches.
Well, later on, but not here, because Damon is by far. Damon is like Rhaegar, like the most skilled combatant in the realm as far as tournaments go. But unlike tournament nights, Damon is also battle hardened too. He is ruthless. He is mean. Damon is a violent man. He loves violence.
Yes. He's the extreme opposite of his brother, who is sitting on the throne. And yes, this is the end of the tournament, but the reason I moved to the end is because said reason.
Nicely done, Uncle.
Thank you, Princess. Now, I'm fairly certain I can win these games, Lady Alicent. Having your favor.
I like all of this, like just everything in the face of Otto.
Yes, it's a complete FU to Otto. This is all it is. Fuck you.
It's not
fuck you.
polite to
Fuck you.
flip them
Fuck
off.
you.
Yeah, exactly.
Good luck, my prince.
So it's basically, yes, it's a big old middle finger to Otto Hightower.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what?
Huh?
Oh, Jennifer Connelly. Oh, that is. I haven't seen Labyrinth
Yes.
in forever.
Well, Andy was like, "Do you know who Jennifer Connelly is? That is Vision's real life wife." And I'm like, "Are you joking? Do I know who? Do you know who Jennifer Connelly is?"
She's also like
Labyrinth.
10 years old in Once Upon a Time in America.
Yeah.
I will have to say this. That,
Did you want Top Gun?
Top
yeah,
Gun
Top
Maverick.
Gun
Do I know what?
It's
Yeah.
incredible.
Mm-hmm. Top
So,
Gun Maverick. She's the
Beautiful
daughter of
Mind,
the admiral.
Rocketeer.
Oh, we got an Aussie sighting.
dude, you have the damn
It's
link. What are you doing?
Andy, you're not
90s.
wrong,
What are you
sir.
talking about?
I don't know about that one because,
Hey,
quite frankly, in the 90s, but anyway,
Once
this
again,
is
we were
an
just talking about Top Gun Maverick. Yeah, she still got it.
this is an equal
yeah.
opportunity stream. So if Anna has any comments about Damon, she's more than welcome to say things. So
Or Jennifer Connelly. She's got opinions on
don't
that.
think she wants to say anything about Jennifer Connelly.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
I love these shows.
Nope. She's got.
Yeah, Christina Ricci. Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all need. I'll get the hose. I swear to God, hose you fuckers down. All right, so this is where things turn and get serious. And
I have to say, I absolutely love the tournament. They did a great job making this.
they did a great job.
Yes.
Yeah, and I know we skipped through it. We're not a substitute for watching it yourself. Please watch it yourself.
The only gripe that I have is them throwing the lances after a charge.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody would hand them the next lance if they would throw the lance.
Should do. I will throw you off a roof. It's.
I mean,
it's
I'll
hose.
jump. Just tell me to.
Like garden hose.
Like,
You be
I'll
you be nice to the ladies right now.
what?
You heard me.
I'll jump out the window.
What? Don't jump out the window. All right. So it's a rough birth. Very, very rough.
Oh yeah, that's a rough scene.
So Viserys asks, "What's happening?" The Maester says, "The infant is in breach, Your Grace."
The infant is in breach, Your Grace. All attempts to turn the babe have failed.
I can't show this because it is wildly bloody. So YouTube will literally be like, they'll have a fit.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised they showed as much as they did.
We've given her as much milk of the poppy as we can without risking the child.
This is Game of Thrones. It's all about shock value.
She's fighting with all her.
Well, I think this one is a smidgen different.
Yeah.
It's not a shocking death of a character you love. It's not weird stuff of like Theon getting his wiener cut off.
Absolutely, but it is still
it's
something
an actual
fairly...
well, it's an actual side effect of the fact that, like, quite frankly, in today's world, women still die in childbirth because of stuff like this. But at this time, it was massively bigger. So real quick.
Absolutely, and infants, like stuff that we can do to save infants nowadays, that's like super. Like for instance, if I was born in the medieval period, I would have come out on a gallows. My umbilical cord was wrapped around my throat. I would have been hanged. But thanks to modern science, that didn't happen. But like that's kind of my point. Is haven't I shared this story with you? I could have sworn I shared this with like everyone on this
I
panel.
don't think so, dude. But Mr. G says, "If only." Damn.
Wow. Okay. Damn.
My sister had kind of a similar problem. She had the umbilical cord was wrapped around her neck. So she was very difficult. And it persists to this day. So love her to death, but yeah, seriously. So this one is just let it play out.
It's all right. It's all right. This is fine. You're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. All right.
So I remember at the time, a lot of people were complaining about how all that went down. Like that they asked the king instead of her, and that he didn't ask if she
Yes,
was
they did.
okay with the way, and like it's like that was normal. Like, and first off, you know, she wouldn't be in the right mindset to make a decision in that moment.
Yeah, she's probably heavily drugged up.
That as well, but it's like even if she would have decided to end the child and stay alive, I could imagine that after the fact, you know, and she sobered up and everything, that she would have wanted it differently.
Yeah.
What's up there, Wade? I mean, not wrong. So, well, even in a movie from the late '90s, right? I believe it's called Jersey Girl, with Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck, where I think that's what it's called. Anyway, what?
I know. I want to see what your
I don't
theory is.
remember the fucking name of the movie off the top of my head. It's been a long time, but anyway, Jennifer Lopez dies in childbirth, and the doctor goes and asks Ben Affleck as the husband. He's like, "Oh, we can either save your wife or we can save your daughter."
Yeah.
And he has to
No,
make.
I think in this, Targaryens have, whenever they breed with Targaryens, they have a very high percentage of child.
Emma
And
is an Aaron.
child death is something that they're used to. Even when she was saying like she's so done with like trying to give birth and nothing ever comes out of it, and like this is just something that it's like for us an audience to be able to get into that situation where it happens, but it's happened so many times before, so you can empathize with her. And that's why he's just like, I'm going to be king. I'm going to go to the tournament and I'm going to support my brother in whatever tournament because it's my kingdom. But she's sitting there and going through this year after year after year. And that's what really makes a difference, because it's not the first time she's going through this.
I believe this is her fifth.
Yeah, I think that's what they said.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds right.
Oh, you made a fart smell like face with your like going. What?
Oh,
Never.
no, I was just thinking. I apologize for any facial.
Wade
expressions I make.
asked, and the question: "Who's the jester?" Reiner. What's me? Why are you asking this question?
Jester, Joker. Big difference.
Big difference.
Who's the Harlequin?
Shut up, Shadu.
I'm just kidding. Okay, so we're coming to the impossible choice.
During a difficult birth, it sometimes becomes necessary for the father to make an impossible choice.
Well, speak it.
To sacrifice one or to lose them both. There is a chance that we can save the child. A technique is taught at the Citadel which involves cutting directly into the womb to free the infant. But the resulting blood loss...
7 house bells.
Mr. Grant.
You can save the child.
We must either act now or leave it with the gods.
Yeah. Yeah. And frankly, this is an impossible decision. The woman you love or your child.
Yeah.
And you see it. The acting is so good.
Uh-huh. Yeah. How and there are people in this world who have to make similar decisions to, to choose to take their loved one, their, off life support. It's got to be the worst decision ever in the history of the world.
Yeah.
The only thing worse is probably to take a child off life support.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's
Mr. Grant is right here.
Yeah. The ambition, it's the wife and the son. That's the big debate. But what pushes him to make the decision is his ambition as king to have a male heir.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. It's very true.
They're going to bring the babe out now.
No, he's not lying. They're gonna bring it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to imagine medical practices back then were not as up to date as it would be now.
No, not even close.
Okay, so now she's like, "Whoa, wait a minute, this isn't right." She is not. She is not enjoying this. She's like, no.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared. They're going to bring the babe out. It's all right.
Oh.
Making the first incision.
Yeah, we're not going to listen to this, just for the record.
Yeah.
Because it's horrifying.
You know what, Mr. Grant, I'm with you there. I'm with you. Mm-hmm.
That's pretty dark.
It is definitely
Well,
dark.
it's not. Well, it's not that. It's not too far fetched, because the Maesters and people like the Hightowers, they hate the Targaryens. Actively hate them because where the Maesters train, the Citadel is in Old Town. The Hightowers are the lords of Old Town. They are men of reason. They are men of science. They are men of logic. Dragons represent magic, something that cannot be controlled.
Well, not only that, it is a source of power that the Maesters are unable to wield effectively. They cannot control dragons. They can control lords by controlling their messages. They can control what their children learn, but they are unable to learn. But there is no way they would ever be able to control a dragon. In the same way that in like any fiction, whenever someone encounters a thing they cannot control, they have to find a way to control it, or they need to remove it from the board.
Yeah. So
Ultimately,
ultimately,
spreading freedom and democracy to the Seven Kingdoms.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got a little. Mm-hmm.
Oh, she locked, so Kristen.
Princess.
So here comes Otto Hightower
Love
back.
it. I love it.
Hey,
Hey, love it.
Hey.
I love it.
Woohoo, new show. Well, not really new show.
New show. It's a new show.
We're doing a new show.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a good show now, instead of half of a good show.
Shadoo's not wrong.
It's a boy. A new heir, Your Grace. Had you and the Queen chosen a name?
One of the reasons that, again, don't disagree with what was just said is because all of a sudden Otto comes in, he starts talking to people, whispering in ears, and
Yeah, the queen's dead.
Bane.
I mean, this is a tragedy. That's what it is.
yes. And the child starts basically drowning in its own blood. It stops breathing.
Right. It coughed and
Yeah, that's what the. Yeah, not great.
Nope.
Oh, now we have the funeral.
Oh, thanks, love it.
Thank you,
She
love
wasn't talking. She wasn't talking about you, Shadow.
Yes,
I know,
actually, she was.
1/6 of
No.
this panel doesn't deserve to be here. I know.
No, she do. You actually do deserve to be here. Or I wouldn't
Agree to
have
disagree.
not invited you.
Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon. Sorry.
That being said, Tyler, we have to talk after the show. I'm just kidding.
They're waiting for you.
Dracarys.
Nuruho veroncoro hakero keduna. Lotelie kepenuja kerim viventos pentas.
Go away.
Right? Right, Mr. Grant? Yes.
Yeah. Good point.
Yes.
Especially in
She's
Morbius.
I'll never be a son.
Right. This is the one. She is. Rhaenyra's the morning is not just her mother has died, not a child that she never met, but her father's happiness. This is what he wanted more than anything: to have a son, to have an heir. And for a brief moment, he was truly happy.
Oh, Syra.
Yeah, it's a good girl. Matt Smith is so good at just non-verbal acting.
No, he might actually be probably one of the best actors of today's world. Seriously. Like, who actually does stuff and you're like, I want to watch Matt Smith in this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's very, and I think even Patty Constantine actually picked up some of that too by the end of this because of like going, it was so good. Yes, you
Not
do.
you. Not you. Not you.
No, I know what. Yeah, I know what he's talking.
Damn Aussies.
That's for the ladies. It's not for me, and maybe Tyler. No comment, dude. What? I didn't do it. Can't always make fun of shit, do I mean, come on.
Where's Rhaenyra? Your Grace, this is the last thing any of us wish to discuss.
Agreed.
At this dark hour, but I consider the matter urgent.
What matter?
That of your succession. These recent tragedies have left you without an obvious heir.
The king has an heir, my lord has.
Despite how difficult this time is, Your Grace, I feel it important the succession be firmly in place for the stability of the realm.
The succession is already set, by precedent and by law.
Shall we say his name?
Lord Strong.
Daemon Targaryen.
If Daemon were to remain the uncontested heir, it could destabilize the realm.
The realm?
Also, at the same time, like, are you kidding me? Like, his family's in shambles. Can we give him a little bit? They're like,
Oh no,
No, because Otto Hightower is a self-serving politician.
because an Otto already has a plan with the Maesters. They do not want Daemon there, because Daemon, now to some degree, Otto is kind of right that he would be similar to Maegor. He would not toe the line of what the Maesters want or the Faith wants. He would rule as he saw fit, and to hell with everyone else. So the Maesters and the Hightowers want someone that they can control, and the Maesters are a very powerful entity, not as powerful as dragons, of course, but there's a Maester in every noble house. So their influence is spread all throughout the realm, and we see this in a later scene. I'm agreeing with you, man. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But
also,
I wasn't done. So what they propose here again is Otto's plan, because it's initially Otto who suggests Rhaenyra. This is a stopgap just to keep Daemon off the throne, because Otto already has a plan to pimp out his daughter to hopefully create a son, and then they're just going to go right along as planned. This is all planned.
Well, it's not just that. It's to pimp his daughter out to a man who has lost literally half of his family. Literally.
Yeah, the best time. Yeah, the best time.
Oh, more than half.
Yeah, no, because he's weak. He's vulnerable, and it's disgusting. And
absolutely.
We'll see.
But
we all
further,
know, but yeah, it works.
Yeah, and the absolute worst part of this scene is about Daemon. He's not wrong. Separating the fact that the Maesters and the Hightowers want someone they can control, Daemon is effectively a rabid animal disguised as a man. He lives to fight. He lives to exert violence upon others. We don't really see a lot of that now, but as we go throughout the series, we definitely see that Daemon is a very violent person. And if he is the king, do you think he's going to just sit there? No, he's going to find enemies and he's going to get people killed, whether that's external or internal, and that would destabilize the realm. So,
and Mr. Grant is right.
Mr. Grant is right.
And Mr. Grant is right, because I believe that Otto was having Alicent visit King Jaehaerys as well, hoping that something might occur.
Well, I actually agree with kind of both of this. Daemon is very much about family, but he also at the same time is very ruthless in what he does. And it's not until for his family. And it's not until we see later when things finally culminate and Daemon has the family he wants. We'll say that. Does that make sense? The family he wants, that he mellows out to a certain extent because he actually loves the person.
Never mellowed out.
He gets mellowed out a little bit. Yes, he does. But we'll get there. This is disagreement for another day. This is what we do on this, on this panel. We, especially probably this show, because we're gonna nitpick and praise and like look under every rock, and it's like it's not Game of Thrones. Like, this is something that we actually enjoy. So Daemon is ultimately. Whoa!
What's that?
It was an Amber Alert. Some child was being taken, and it's coming from one person. It wasn't me.
Okay.
The alert, I mean.
Yeah, no, I know what an Amber Alert is. It's just.
Oh no, Cliff asked.
No, I know. Mr. G says, "The fuck is that?" That's what happens when they send an Amber Alert to radios, cell phones, even scanners.
Silence your phones. Silence your phones, then, folks.
Mine is always on silent because I don't.
Probably Shadow then.
It wasn't.
I checked when I heard it.
I'm totally muted.
Not me. It's not me.
Wait, who left?
Tyler left.
Tyler.
Oh no,
Tywin-
he left. He left. I think his internet crashed.
Oh.
Oh, he said he got a no. It was a tornado warning, not a Amber Alert. It was a tornado warning.
Okay, yeah, and he is in the alley, so.
Gotcha. Sorry for the fake news.
All right, so
Does that mean I'll need to go? Because I've also been not like the full-on alerts, but I've been told to watch out for tornadoes a few times today by my apps. Here, I'll just.
You're fine.
So would I say? Okay, so that's a good question. Would Daemon be like Tywin Lannister in his ruthless defense and promotion of his family, in a different way of getting there?
Yes.
I think where Tywin would be strategically building alliances and trying to leverage his wealth, Daemon would be taking his dragons, he'd be taking his ships, and he'd be taking his armies, and he'd be scourging the coasts of Essos and rooting out the mountain clans, and maybe even putting down some uppity houses that try to speak out against him. He would use force as force, whereas Tywin would use coercion as force.
That's what I just said in a much more concise manner. Thank you for trying to show how smart you are.
Okay. Also, in all honesty, yeah, because he dipped really quickly, like it was probably near him, like legit near him. I've lived through hurricanes and tornado warnings where they were close, but I don't think I've ever seen somebody like just bam. I mean, unless again the internet just crashed. But all right, so this is where.
And she's like, "Oh, yes." And she knows what this means.
Yes.
Stop that.
She knows her duty. But you said that she was basically already raised from 6 years old to basically already know, okay, there's plans in the works.
Well,
so in the books, this scheme started when she was 6.
To cater to the king before Jaehaerys, and then now Viserys.
And
now
now
that she's
also-
old enough, she understands what this means.
Yeah.
And right at the start of the scene, we see Otto writing a message, handing it to the maester, saying, "Make sure this gets to the Citadel. They've got their plan in motion."
Mm-hmm. But also now, do you kind of understand why Rhaenyra is a punk and she doesn't want any part of this? She sees all of it and she does not want to be part of it, even though she knows she has to.
Right.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of like one of the reasons that Rhaenyra
she's a
and
rebel.
Daemon are my favorites. They see the bullshit and they're like going, "I don't want nothing to do with that."
Yeah.
Again, Team Black. There's a lot of Team Black. You got a lot of work to do there, kid, over the next couple of weeks. And he's like, "No, fuck this shit. I'm out." No, he knows.
No, I'm fully aware that my stance is both my previous one and my current one are unpopular. I don't care.
You shouldn't care.
No point in shouting at a hurricane.
What is it?
That's true too.
I thought I might come and look in on you, Your Grace.
And she's like, "Oh fuck, I know this. Oh god damn it."
Very kind, thank you.
And I think you can tell she doesn't want to be there.
No, she doesn't, because she feels guilty over the fact that she understands.
I don't know if it's guilt. I think it's awkwardness. The man just lost his wife.
I think there's guilt there.
I don't think
I
there's
think
guilt.
it's guilt, awkwardness, and fear, personally.
Go Shadu.
Anyone else? Thoughts?
I kind of thought like awkward, like, because this is the first time I see it. Like, if you said in the books, like, she already, read to previous kings and to him, it makes this kind of look a little bit weird. But if this is like the first time that she went to him to read, I can understand why it would be weird. But I think, like, she knows what her duty is within her house, and that's
Yeah, that's so it stopped
So
being innocent when she just went to read. Now it's like you're
Anna?
there for a reason.
Anna, thoughts?
I hope Tyler is okay.
Well, yes.
So yeah, it's number one, and number two is for me, like I can understand Alicent doing this, but also, it, okay, this is going to be really controversial, but she is being trafficked by her own father to do things.
Not controversial. That's spot
Yeah,
on.
it's not controversial.
And like that is really sick.
It is.
Right. So
Yeah.
I don't think so. Where I don't say that there's guilt in this world, you do things for your family, for your house. That is your first obligation. So she's doing this because of her father, who is the hand of the king.
Mhm.
They are a very prominent family, and she's doing this for the good of her house.
Real quick,
So there's very little guilt.
I need to interject. Dempsey says, "Oh man, I just checked the weather. It's going to be pretty rough for a while. I'll be lurking while we prep as a family."
All right, take care, man.
So there's
It's a pretty
legit.
bad storm.
Yeah,
It's had some
dude.
pretty bad storms in like the Midwest right now.
Shit.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I've got like softball-sized hail in my area, and I'm on like the fringes of this stuff. So I imagine anyone like north of me and east of me is getting the worst of it.
okay. Well, same for you, Shadu. You know, fucking hunker down. You know what to do when it comes to the tornado.
And worst comes to shove,
No, don't go.
hey, worst comes to shove, JV doesn't have to put up with me, so it's a win-win no matter what happens.
You know what, JB? No, that's not nice. This one's actually legit. It's not nice. But love.
I never
Okay.
claimed
Love it says bingo. Talking about Anna. How is that controversial? It's not. She just you know, it's spot the fuck on.
Right.
It's gross.
That's a great model too.
I don't know how passionate.
It is a great model.
Yes, I am.
And even the king is like, why are you here?
Yeah, it's so
When my
weird.
mother died, people only ever spoke to me in riddles. All I wanted was for someone to say that they were sorry for what happened to me. I'm very sorry, Your Grace.
So probably the best king we have seen in all of House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones world, being just broken and manipulated.
See, I would say I would say in these stories we've never seen a good king.
No, Viserys the First was a good king,
an effective king.
I would say even with the label, like good is not a good label for him either. All he managed to keep a realm that was on the edge of a golden age from completely falling apart while laying the groundwork for what's going to happen later in the series. He was possible. He wasn't the worst. He wasn't a good king though. Throughout the entire series of the Game of Thrones,
Mr. Grant, no. Mr. Grant, no, and you shut your whore mouth because of that. Chip. No.
I hate to say this. I agree with JV. I don't think he would be. I don't think he would have been a great king. I think he would have been a good king, top 5, top 10 at the worst. But he would not have been a great king. Jaehaerys, who completely and fundamentally made Westeros from a backwards heathenist country into one where you have main roads, where you have people drinking clean water, where you don't have fire hazards in the main city. Jaehaerys was a great king.
Jaehaerys was, and probably Rhaegar. It would have been a very good king.
That's not nice. All right.
Oh, 2 people have told me to. All right, I'm going to go for a run, everyone. Have a good night.
Take care, Shidu.
Wait.
I don't know what you mean.
Oh, no, you're
You
still.
address me
Don't.
as
That's
your
not
grace,
funny.
or I will have my Kingsguard cut out your tongue.
Okay.
The air for a day.
Okay, so
Did you
time out. So as the scene starts, as Damon's being walked in, you got Viserys. Has Aegon's sword, and he's like, "Did you say it?" Damon's kind of like, I'm gonna need some context because I say a lot. Can you kind of narrow this down? Because I'm not gonna answer something because I don't know what I'm being accused of at the moment.
Oh yeah.
Now the reason we're here is because Otto has his little spies. And they overheard Daemon being braggadocious and referred to the dead baby as the heir for a day.
And your leg spittles. You have no allies at court but me. I have only ever defended you. Yet everything I've given you, you've thrown back in my face.
You've only ever tried to send me away to the Vale, to the City Watch, anywhere but by your side. 10 years you've been king, and yet not once have you asked me to be your hand.
Why would I do that?
Because I'm your brother.
Yeah.
And the blood of the dragon runs thick.
Then why do you cut me so deep?
I've only ever spoken the truth. I see Otto Hightower for what he is.
An unwavering and loyal hand.
Cunt.
A cunt.
His son stands to inherit nothing he doesn't seize for himself.
Otto Hightower is a more honorable man than you could ever be.
He doesn't protect you. I would.
From
Time out.
It's getting thick up in here.
Daemon sees through the bullshit.
Yes.
Absolutely sees through the bullshit. He sees the politicking of all of it. And Daemon is like, we are Targaryens. We don't suffer this. We don't suffer this. We are blood of the dragon. We run this shit. You're more concerned with keeping these suck-ups happy instead of ruling.
Yeah, one of my favorite lines in the show is coming up like right now.
Like right now. If I hit play right now. Okay.
Basically.
You're weak, Viserys. And that council of leeches knows it. They all prey on you for their own ends.
Mm-hmm.
I have decided to name a new heir.
I'm your heir.
Not anymore. You are to return to Runestone and your lady wife at once. And you are to do so without quarrel. By order of your king.
Anna, thoughts here? Anna?
I'm here. So I just want to get something straight. When I said like controversial, I'm just trying to be very careful on channels because of things going on. That's why I'm saying like when trafficking or whatever. But in this situation right now, it is blood against duty and your duty as a king. And you have to choose between family and other people who might sweet talk you and you know say really nice things to you, and then you have to kind of like I don't know. Am I going to go this way, that way? You have to be very dialectical about it. Here, I am completely 100% on Damon's. Like, like with him and everything that he's saying. He's saying the truth. You are literally you're again, Viserys, good king. Good kings never last. You can't be a good king. You just can't. You have to be ruthless and you have to do things which people will hate you for, and therefore you will have enemies. You can't just cater to everybody.
Especially in this setting.
Especially in that setting. You have to be a despot in a way. And Damon would be a very kind of unpredictable person, but still somebody who would always tell you the truth. And again, would always go for the family. I love the family. Will do anything for the family. That's all that matters, which is why I have allegiance to Team Black family.
And this is another thing with the Hightowers. Otto knows who Viserys is. Viserys likes parties. He likes to schmooze. He likes to have people over for dinner. He's a social guy. So Otto plays into this because this is also what the Hightowers like, pageantry. So they have the tournaments, the big banquets. This is really what Viserys is known for, having great parties. But as far as being effective as the stability of his realm, he's not good at it at all. Otto knows this. So, and this is why they work so hard to keep Daemon away from court. Daemon is the X factor. Daemon is the one thing they cannot control, because Daemon is a true Targaryen. He is blood of the dragon. And as I said, this is how Daemon is. We are Targaryens. We don't suffer these little shits. They are bugs to us.
And Viserys kind of reminds me also, like, going back to history, he reminds me of a little bit of like Nikolai from the Russian Empire, who was like an extremely charismatic, lovely Tsar who everybody loved, but such a shitty king when it came to matters of the empire. Like he had great parties as well in the St. Petersburg Palace, and everybody loved him. And from this place in Germany and this place in Europe and England, everybody loved him. But when it came to it, nobody came to his rescue. Everybody abandoned him, and he had nothing.
I mean, that fits to quite a few historical leaders. Like, I would also say Henry VI, a son of like one of the strongest kings that England ever had, but he wasn't affected. He lost all the lands in France, Spain, and ultimately led to the War of the Roses, which this really this show is basically,
which is Game of Thrones is based on the War of the Roses.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to this one.
Oh, Valyrian, the Black Thread.
Valerian was the last living creature to have seen old Valyria before the Doom.
Yeah.
Its greatness and its flaws. When you look at the dragons, what do you see?
What? You haven't spoken
this
a
is a
word
great
to me
scene.
since Mother's funeral. And now you've seen your king's guard down.
Answer me. It's important. What do you see?
I suppose I see us.
Tell me.
Everyone says Targaryens are closer to gods than to men. But they say that because of our dragons. Without them, we're just like everyone else.
The idea that we control the dragons is an illusion. They're a power man should never have trifled with. One that brought Valyria its doom. If we don't mind our own histories, it will do the same to us. Targaryen must understand this to be king. Or queen.
So, okay, so folks who have read the books, the idea that Targaryens control the dragons is an illusion. While there is some degree of truth to that, as we see later on in the series, when Daemon says dreams didn't make us kings, dragons did. Is this just a fundamental ideological schism between someone like Daemon and Viserys, or is this, or okay? So please explain.
It is magic. At the end of the day, it's magic. It's something that is not just something you dreamed of. Like, come on, it's a dragon. You have a bond with a creature that chooses you based on your. It chooses you. You bond with it. It's magical from its conception.
So is the Viserys's mindset here that we control the dragons is an illusion? Is that because he never had that type of a bond?
He probably never had that bond, even though if he did ride Balerion, the biggest and baddest of them all, he should have had some sort of, and I don't know whether he distanced himself again, which is why we're seeing him as more of like a king who is not into any of that, which is why he's like, oh, you stink of dragon, daughter, or like we don't see him interact with any dragons, and he's distancing himself. But at the end of the day, there is that mysticism and magic around it where you can't explain it, and it doesn't need to be explained. It's something that cannot be explained.
I'm with you.
Like, I work with animals, and I work, like doing things with animals, and you can't, even having a pet, you either get along with it and there's that magic where it just happens, you have that bond, or you don't. It's life. Like, it's happens in real life. Imagine having a massive creature that you bond with, that literally can feel everything. Like when Daemon is sitting on his dragon, it's his character, everything that he's feeling, the dragon is feeling.
Right. I'm with you. Should do anything to add to that quickly?
Yes. I think they're both right and both wrong at the same time. Their ideology, they have the two different parts, and when joined, they have the correct way of thinking. You cannot fundamentally control a dragon because you lack the means to exert force upon it. It has to choose to listen to you. But at the same time, it's also not everyone can just use a dragon. Dragons, you need to have that magic, the Valyrian blood to even approach a dragon and to even control a dragon, and you then further need the force of will to be able to exert some level of not control but authority with the dragon. But you could never make a dragon do something it does not. If you could control a dragon the same way you could control a serf, a dog, or a horse, you could make the dragon do something against its own wishes. Which is the fundamental
even that to be said, quite frankly, as humans, we can't make a horse do anything. Like we can actually, and again, it's kind of the same thing. An animal feels your fear an animal feels your nervousness.
Hey,
What's
Beard.
up there, Beard? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Beard.
Dogs, cats, they all feel our fear because, quite frankly, we radiate it to them and they act accordingly. So no, it's it is a symbiotic relationship, and so no, I actually agree on all accounts here that
I'm sorry, Rhaenyra. I have wasted the years since you were born, wanting for a son.
Oh. Self-reflection. Good. You've admitted you've been a doting dad, but kind of a shitty dad.
Yeah.
You are the very best of your mother. And I believe, as I know she did, that you could be a great ruling queen.
Damon's your heir.
Daemon was not made to wear the crown, but I believe
he actually was.
Corlys of House Velaryon, Lord of the Tides, and Master of Driftmark.
I, Corlys Velaryon, Lord of the Tides and Master of Driftmark, promise to be faithful to King Viserys and his named heir, the Princess Rhaenyra. I pledge fealty to them and shall defend them against all enemies in good faith and without deceit. I swear this by the old gods and the new.
this is no trivial gesture, Rhaenyra. Dragon saddle is one thing, but the Iron Throne is the most dangerous seat in the realm.
I, Lord Hobart Hightower, Beacon of the South, Defender of the Citadel, and Voice of Old Town, promise to be faithful to King Viserys and his named heir, the Princess Rhaenyra. I pledge fealty
Oh,
and shall defend
Caraxes, the bloodworm.
Yeah, Caraxes is not happy.
and without deceit.
No, he's
I
not.
swear this by the old gods.
He is very much and you talk about dragons being symbiotic with their rider. You could not find a more perfect match for David than
agreed.
Caraxes. Because I believe it was said that Caraxes has been, even when he was a hatchling, that he was ornery from the start. He was nasty, he was mean, and he's been like this all the time.
Well, hello there, Triss.
Hi, Triss.
Hi, Triss.
Susie, what happened to your Twitter?
I forgot
got
Twitter
spicy.
doesn't like fun. I was bantering with a friend. I used a word that you're not allowed to use, and they yeeted my account. But I've returned as Umbral Pidgey the White, and making a new account sometime soon.
Well, at least you're leaning into the funny, the white.
Oh, yeah, it's a,
All right,
it's a great
Dempsey.
play on words.
Dempsey.
All right, Dempsey.
You be
See ya,
safe, man.
buddy.
Take care.
Yeah, seriously.
Here, Dempsey.
Seriously, take care. Trish says hi, Anna.
Hi, Triss, my love.
We are wrapping this up here pretty quick.
Now that's got to be for someone like her who's never experienced this type of a power, just to put your hands on it. That's got to be like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hyper.
Now,
evolved
this
and you're punching it like a dog.
real quick. This is a name that we're gonna understand. Baratheon.
Right.
Robert Baratheon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not Robert. Boros.
No,
Vermond.
but
We're
how
in the
Game of
context
Thrones
of
started
who
with
this person
Robert
is.
Baratheon.
Yes, we know that.
I need to tell you. Might be difficult for you to understand.
We need a Rupert Rebellion show.
Our histories. They tell us that Aegon looked across the Blackwater from Dragonstone, saw a rich land ripe for the capture. But ambition alone is not what drove him to conquest. It was a dream. And just as Daenerys foresaw the end of Valyria, Aegon foresaw the end of the world of men.
I love it.
Just to begin with a terrible...
We're almost done, love it. So appreciate you watching.
I, Rickon Stark,
Lord of Winterfell.
Rickon
Aegon
Stark.
saw absolute darkness riding on those winds, and whatever dwells within will destroy the world of the living. When this great winter comes, Rhaenyra, all of Westeros must stand against it. And if the world of men is to survive, a Targaryen must be seated on the Iron Throne. A king or queen, strong enough to unite the realm against the cold and the dark.
Yeah.
Aegon called his dream the Song of Ice and Fire. This secret,
Cat's
been
paw
passed
dagger.
from king to heir since Aegon's time. Now you must promise to carry it and protect it. Promise me this, Rhaenyra. Promise me.
I, Viserys Targaryen, first of his name, King of the Andals and the Rhoynar, and the First Men.
He's a good boy.
Lord of the Seven Kingdoms, and Protector of the Realm. Do hereby name
It's moving like a snake swimming through
Rhaenyra
water.
Targaryen, Princess of Dragonstone, and heir to the Iron Throne.
Goosebumps.
I love Rawan Jawadi, who does the music. He also did the music
Robin
for
Jawadi is amazing.
Amazing composer.
He did the. I mean, he's done this show, Westworld, which the music was amazing for that.
Yeah.
This is a great intro episode. It sets the table, and it introduces you to all the major players we're going to be coming across.
Yeah.
Very well done. And you know pretty much everyone's motives from the get-go.
I have a question. So, watching Game of Thrones, I had the feeling like winter had been there before.
Yeah, the long
But
night
listen,
was before.
but listening to Viserys, it sounded more like it hasn't happened yet, and like it's a one-time event. The one that we
So
in Game of Thrones.
This was
the last time it happened was the First Men's myth, like 8,000 years ago. So the reason why we know more about it in Game of Thrones is we start following a bunch of First Men who that is their culture, that is their mythology. Whereas the Targaryens aren't the first wave of colonizers or the second wave, they're the third wave of colonizers of Westeros. These stories have been so diluted by the time they reach them. It's like a Norman hearing about an Irish myth. It's something that's so nonsensical you wouldn't even believe it's a thing. But to a First Men like the Starks, that is their culture, that is their history. They would know it intimately. Sorry to cut you off.
So you've got so as he was saying, so first you had the children who lived in Westeros. You had the First Men come over, then you had the Andals come over. The Targaryens were about a couple, maybe thousand years after the Andals, if I'm correct.
That's
yeah.
that sounds about right.
Yeah.
So there. This would be the first that Aegon would have known of a long night, but according to the First Man, that's already happened. That's when the First Men banded together with the children to send the White Walkers back. That's when they constructed the wall with Brandon the Elder and Children of the Forest magic.
Okay.
All right. Well, that being said, that concludes, and we are at the 2-hour mark. So, Shadu, to the point, what do you got coming up?
I'm gonna need to take a little bit of time to reorient some stuff. So FNR, I'm definitely gonna be doing FNR this week. Other than that, no strong plans or anything.
Okay. Next.
Yeah.
It's all good, man. Good to see you. Metro Clifton 3D.
All right. So, yeah, the next stream should be Friday Night Rumble. Looking forward to that. Then after that, Sundays we have Hunting Mustache Man. We're going to start on season 2. So that was a lot of fun. The first season was interesting. And then, of course, I'm missing something. I know I am. But on my channel, Clifton 3D, we do insert culture Monday nights, and then back here.
Clifton, thank you for being here, man. It's good to have you. And of course, probably the gem of this stream, Anna's Gameland.
Oh, no. Thank you so much for inviting me, JV.
You're welcome.
It was an honor. Seeing you again, Shadu. Hope to see you back on Twix. And everybody in chat. Thank you for being here. So, yeah, it's Anna's Gameland. Whatever I'm doing with these lovely people here. So, that's it.
Yes, shout out to
Team Black all the way.
Oh, yeah.
Can't stop it. Sorry. Yes, Team Black all the way. Also, shout out to the chat. And seriously, you guys are the best. Nobody gives a shit about me. So there's one person who gets to say goodbye. It's this man. So do what you got to do when you do.
All right. This week, Bloodline Rules. Wednesday, SmackDown. This Rudy Poo Candy Ass is going to get a lesson on how The Rock was never great. And then we got, you can catch me Thursday on with Roman of the Empire, talking heavy metal bands from 2000 to 2024. Going to be a lot of fun. We got Dempsey will be on that stream, weather permitting. You can also catch me here for Friday night's Royal Rumble. And so, with that being said, chat, you're awesome. Panel, you're great. Except you're fine. My YouTube, my lovely YouTube girlfriend here is the chat's delight, the panel's delight, until our Targaryen queen comes back next week, and then we'll have even more of it here. But until then, we leave you with one word, and that word is Toodles.
Toodles.